about an ideal integrated circuit. I already derived the equation for this ideal integrated circuit as V naught is equals to minus 1 by RF into R1 into CF integral Vi of t into dt. Already derived the equation for the ideal integrated circuit. In today's class I am going to explain about the frequency response of ideal integrated circuit by taking the equation for the ideal integrator. So here V naught of t is equals to, we can get from the equation ideal integrator as V naught of t is equals to minus 1 by R1 into CF integral V1 of t into dt. So this is an output which is coming from the ideal integrator. So here I am going to derive the frequency response for this ideal integrator as apply Laplace transform, for this equation. We get V naught of S is equals to minus 1 by R1 into CF V1 of S by S. V1 of S by S. Apply Laplace transform to this equation. We can get V naught of S is equals to minus 1 by R1 CF1 into V1 of S by S. So here we can put in the place of S is equals to J omega. In the place of S is equals to J omega. V naught of S by V1 of S is equals to, in the place of S we can put here as J omega. S in the place of S as J omega. J omega is equals to minus 1 by R1 CF. In the place of an S is equals to J omega. J into omega means 2 pi f. We already know here omega is equals to 2 pi f. So here in the place of omega we have to put the 2 pi f. In the place of S we have J into 2 pi f. J into 2 pi f. So we can get V naught by VI means we already know that V naught by Vs is equals to output by input is equals to gain. So V naught of J omega by Va of J omega is equals to gain A1. Gain A is equals to represent gain is represented with output voltage by input voltage. So gain A is equals to output voltage by input voltage. Then we can get here gain A1 is equals to minus 1 by J 2 pi f R1 into CF. So here in the place of an FA we can put, let us assume FA is equals to 1 by 2 pi here 1 by 2 pi R1 into CF. Here no need to write J here. Why? Because S is equals to J omega. Omega place 2 pi f. So this is equals to J 2 pi f. No need to write J here. So here we have only. So here Fa is equals to 1 by 2 pi R1 CF. So gain we can get and gain A1 is equals to minus Fa by F. So here A1 is equals to minus Fa by F. Why? Because 1 by 2 pi R1 CF is Fa. Fa by F we can get A1 is equals to Fa by F. We can get gain A1 is equals to minus Fa by F. So here we can have the magnitude of this A1 is magnitude of minus A1 by magnitude of this frequency response becomes Fa by F. The frequency response curve for this ideal integrator is like this. Here In the case of an gain, A1 is equals to FA by mod magnitude of the gain FA by F. So here gain in dB is represented as gain in dBs is represented as 20 log FA by F. 20 log FA by F. So here 20 log FA by F gain in dBs. If F is equals to 0, consider if F is equals to 0. If F is equals to 0, F term becomes 0, then gain in dB is infinite. The gain in dB is F is 0, F in the 0, then we can get gain here, gain in the y-axis and F frequency is in the x-axis. If F is equals to 0, if in the term FA by F is equals to 0, then gain becomes as infinity. The gain becomes as infinity. If F is equals to 0, the gain becomes infinity. When F is equals to FA, that means F is equals to FA. F is equals to FA means that when F is equals to FA, then F by F we can get N1. F by F we can get cancelled out. So we can get an gain in dB is 0. If F is equals to FA, if F is equals to FA, then we can get an 0 dB as gain. F is equals to FA. That means in the F by FA, in FA by F, if F is equals to FA, that means F by F gets cancelled, then we get it 0 now. So F is equals to FA, then we get an 0 dB. The graph, characteristics graph for this ideal integrator is like this. If F is equals to 0, the gain is infinity. If F is equals to FA, then gain is 0 dBs. So here, what is the advantages of using ideal integrator? Advantage of using ideal integrator. Disadvantages of using ideal integrator is disadvantages of using ideal integrator. If zero edge gain, if here zero edge gain, if a zero edge gain is provided, it gives the output as an infinity. If there is no input provided, the input there is a output is also having, or if zero input is present but output is present, because presence of an input bias, input offset voltage and input bias current, the output is very high. This is an error. Why? Because we are not providing any input. That means if F is equals to 0, the gain is infinity. That means if 0 edges we are giving, but the output will be having some value. That means with the presence of an input offset voltage and input bias current, you already know about the concept. Input bias current and the input offset voltage. So here, if input is applied, if input is applied, that means F is equals to FA. If input is applied, output is not exact integration of input due to the input. That means output is not an exact integration of input due to presence of an output is not correct one. If input is applied, output is not current, it is another error occur to the output. So here bandwidth is very less in the ideal integrator. These are the disadvantages for the ideal integrator. So here bandwidth is also very less. So it is used as integrator for limited frequency only. It is used for the is an integrator for the limited frequency only. To overcome this, we are using the practical integrator. So here the drawbacks for using this ideal integrator: if a zero edges is given, the output will be output will be there when the zero edges is given due to the presence of an output offset voltage and the input bias current. If input is given but output may be having some distortion due to the presence of an input offset voltage and the input bias current. So bandwidth is also very less in this ideal integrator. So it is used for only limited purpose only. To overcome this, we use the practical integrators rather than using the ideal integrators. So here I am using this practical integrator. Here this is another concept. the practical integrator concept. So here we are using the practical integrator. VA is the input source to the integrator, and the all compensation is the source resistor used in the non-inverting, and the VD is the difference between two input voltages, two input terminals, and the RF is the resistor, feedback resistor connected between inverting and the output voltage, and the CF is the feedback capacitor connected across this inverting and the output voltage. So here I am going to derive the equation for the practical integrator by using this network. So here we have an VA is given as VA is equals to VB. VA is voltage applied at VA is equals to voltage applied at VB. So we can write VA is equals to VB, and VA is taken as 0. Why? Because VA is taken as 0. Why? Because the voltage applied to this non-inverting terminal is grounded. So here the voltage applied across VB is taken as voltage applied at the VA. So VA is taken as 0. So here VA is taken as 0. Here VA is taken as 0. So we can apply nodal analysis at node A. Apply nodal analysis at node A. Apply nodal analysis at node A. We can get VA minus VA by R1. Nodal analysis at node A. VA minus V1 by R1 plus VA minus V0 by RF plus VA minus V0 by RF. Nodal analysis at node A. VA minus V0 by RF plus we have also another circuit VA minus V0 by CF. Here CF is the capacitance. We have an impedance capacitance as impedance capacitance for the capacitor is written as 1 by J omega CF. So it is also written as 1 by SCF. Why? Because impedance for the capacitor is written as an 1 by SCF. So here in the place of an CF we can write an 1 by SCF. So is equals to 0. So here in the place of an VA substitute 0. So we can get an minus VA by R1 minus in the place of an VA 0 minus V0 by RF minus V0 by 1 by SCF is equals to 0. So we can get an these terms minus V0 terms are taken at this side and the minus VA terms is taken this side. Minus V0 is taken common here. We can get 1 by RF plus SCF taken V0 common here. V0 of 1 by RF plus SCF is equals to, here minus term becomes plus here. VI by R1. So we can get from the term minus V0 is equals to VI. Simply I can write VI into RF by R1 of 1 plus SCF into RF. SCF into RF. So here V0 is equals to minus RF by R1 of 1 plus SCF into RF. Simply we can get the term like this. So here V0 by V, apply Laplace transform here, V0 here we have VI. So V0 of S is equals to minus VI of S into RF by R1 of 1 plus SCF into RF. Simply we can get an V output in the terms of an Laplace transforms is equals to minus Vi of S into Rf by R1 of 1 plus SCF into Rf. So here we can, from these we can write these equations. So we can get and simply V naught of S by Vi of S. We can write output voltage by input voltage is equals to gain. So we can get an gain is equals to what we can get gain minus Rf by R1 of 1 plus SCF into Rf. We can get simply the gain. Gain is represented in the form of an A1. A1 is equals to minus Rf by R1 of 1 plus SCF into Rf. SCF into Rf. So we can get minus Rf by R1 of 1 plus SCF into Rf. So in the place of an S is equals to J omega. J omega means J into 2 pi F. So put in the place of an S is equals to J omega. Then A1 is equals to minus. So in the place of an S we can put an J 2 pi F R1 of 1 plus J 2 pi F CF into RF. CF into RF. So we can write again. I can write here minus RF by we can get R1 of 1 plus J 2 pi F into CF into RF. So here let us assume as F A is equals to 1 by 2 pi CF into RF, and FB is equals to 1 by 2 pi R1 into CF. So substitute FA in this term, we can get A1 is equals to minus RF by R1 of 1 plus F by FA. 1 plus RF by R1 of 1 plus F by FA. So we can get gain A1 is equals to gain. Simply we can get gain A1 is equals to minus RF by R1 of 1 plus simply FA in the terms of an 2 pi CF RF as 2 pi CF RF as FA. So we can get no need no need of J here, minus RF by R1 of 1 plus F by FA. So we can get R1 as we can get A1 is equals to, I can write here I can write here A1 is equals to minus RF by R1 of 1 plus F by FA. So we can represent in the form of a magnitude response of this gain. Magnitude response of gain is represented as a magnitude response for gain. For gain, A1 is represented in E mod A1 is equals to RF by R1, square root of R1 is taken to this side, RF by R1, square root of A square plus B square, it becomes 1 square, magnitude of this term becomes F by FA whole square. Magnitude of this A plus B becomes A plus B for the magnitude of this A plus J A plus JB becomes A square plus B square, square root of A square plus B square. Then we can get square root of 1 plus F by FA. So here we have an term F by FA. We have get this term. I can show in the form of a graph here. We can have again A1 is equals to RF by R1 by square root of 1 plus F by FA whole square. So here in the place of F is equals to 0, if we can get an F is equals to 0 term, we can get an output RF by R1. Why? Because the square root of 1 plus 0 means RF by R1. A1, if you put 0 here, we can get an output as RF by R1. So when we can get F is equals to 0, the output is RF by R1. So in the graph form we can represent here RF by R1. The gain is increasing some level. So when F is equals to FA, the gain will be F is equals to FA. F is represented FA. Then we can get an RF by R1 by square root of 2. Why? Because 1 plus 1 we can get 2, square root of 2. So we can represent it is RF by square root of 2 into R1. So the output will be 3 dB. If F is equals to FA, then we can get an 0.707 RF by R1. The gain is 0.707 RF by R1. So at 3 dB, F is equals to FA, the gain will be at 3 dB gain. If F is greater than, that means F is higher than FA. F is higher than FA, the gain will be decreases. If F is higher than, greater than FA, the gain will be decreases. The gain F is up to this. When F is crosses to this level, that means F is greater than FA, then the gain will be decreases. If F is equals to infinity, if F is equals to infinity, the gain will be 0. If F is increases, if F is increases, that means F value is increases, the gain will be decreases. If F is greater than FA, the gain will be decreases. If F is equals to infinite, the gain will be falls to 0. That is the logic here. If F is equals to 0 means the gain will be increases. If F is equals to FA, that means if F is equals to FA, that means if both F and FA is equal, then it will be at the 3 dB. If F is equals to F is greater than FA, the gain will be decreases to somewhat. If F is equals to infinity, that means F is crosses to some level, that means F is increases, the gain will be decreases. That means if frequency increases, the gain will be decreases. That means in a practical integrator, if that means if frequency increases, the gain will be decreases. That is the advantage in the practical integrator. So here, in the first onwards, I can in the practical op-amp, we are taking this circuit, applying nodal analysis to the circuit. We can get the output as V output is equals to VI RF by R1 of 1 plus SCF RF, and we can apply the frequency response S is equals to J omega J into 2 pi F. Then we can get an gain to this, and we can have, let us assume FA and the FE terms, we can get an gain 1 is RF by R1 of 1 plus F by FA. then we can have the magnitude response for the gain. So magnitude response for the gain is the square root of 1 plus a square plus b square. A is this term and the b is this term, 1 square plus f by fa whole square. Then we can get the frequency response curve for the practical integrator like this. If f value increases, the gain will be decreases. That is the logic of using the practical integrator. So other than the ideal integrator, in the ideal integrator, if f is equals to 0, the gain will be infinite. If f is infinite, the gain will be decreases. So here, this is also here practical integrator is very useful, avoiding the drawbacks which are present in the ideal integrator. So here, in the applications, we are using this integrator. We are using this practical integrator. In analog computers, we are using this integrator, and the analog to digital converters, we are using these practical integrators. And in wave shaping circuits, for the wave shaping circuits, we are using, and to generate the ramp signals, we are using these particular circuits, practical integrators in our networks. So here, these are the applications of using practical integrators. So here it is an applications of using the practical integrator rather than the ideal integrator. Somewhat disadvantages present in the using of an ideal integrator. So we are going to use the practical integrator in these applications for the increasing of the bandwidth which is present in the practical integrator. By tomorrow's class, I am going to explain about the practical differentiator. In the differentiator, we have also the ideal differentiator, and also we have the frequency response curves for the ideal differentiator, and also we have the practical differentiator, and also we have the frequency response for the practical